Today, we're going to create a Python development environment for use in our data programming course. We'll build the environment using JupyterLab, a web-based interface that is currently very popular with data scientists and developers. I'll leave a link to the Jupyter website in the description below. We'll host the web application on our virtual computer inside Google Cloud Computing Platform, which will give us access from any computer with a web browser. To begin, we'll need to create a public-private key pair, which we'll use to authenticate with the virtual computer. To create the key pair, we will use a program bundled with Putty called Putty Key Generator, or PuttyGen for short. PuttyGen is free software which can read key files, save key files, and generate new key files. If you don't already have access to a computer with Putty installed, I'll leave a link in the description below to the publisher's website where you can download the software. If you're using a Mac, you won't be able to use Putty, but don't worry, you'll be able to generate a key pair using the terminal application bundled with your Mac. Once we have a key pair, we'll log into the Google platform and launch a virtual computer. If you're in my data programming class, you'll pay for the virtual computer using a coupon available through our learning management system Folio. If you don't have access to Google education credits through your institution, you can activate a free trial. I'll leave a link to the Google trial credits page in the description below. If neither of these options are available to you, you'll need to add a credit card and pay for the services yourself. If you leave the virtual computer running 24/7, it will cost about $26 a month. However, we'll only run the instance when we need it at a cost of about 5 to 10 cents per hour. Once we've provisioned our virtual computer, we'll log in and install JupyterLab. Next, we'll create a secure connection known as a tunnel between our PC and the virtual computer using Putty. If you're on a Mac, you'll be able to open the SSH tunnel directly in Terminal with a simple command. On either platform, this SSH tunnel will keep our server and our work secure from prying eyes. Finally, we'll access JupyterLab from a web browser on our PC and begin programming in Python. Let's get started. If you're on a Windows PC, begin by opening the PuttyGen software. Click the Generate button and randomly wiggle your mouse over the window as instructed. In the Key Comment field, enter your username. This should be the same username as your Google account. Click the Save Public Key button and choose a file name such as JupyterLab.pub. Click the Save Private Key button, click the Yes button, and choose a file name such as JupyterLab.ppk. This is the minimum you'll need to interact with a Google virtual computer, but I like to save copies of 2 other types of key files. Click Conversions, Export Open SSH Key, click Yes, and choose a file name such as JupyterLab.pem. This saves your private key in a format that is readable by Mac and Linux-based operating systems. Lastly, select the entire public key displayed in the PuttyGen window. Be sure to highlight everything from ssh-rsa through your username. Right-click and select Copy. Then, paste the text into your text editor of choice. Finally, save the file with your other key files using a file name such as JupyterLab-rsa.pub. With these 4 key files, you'll be able to configure a virtual computer for secure access from any operating system. If you're using a Mac, we can generate a key pair using the terminal application bundled with every Mac. Begin by opening the terminal application. You should be in your home directory as indicated by your username in the command prompt to the left. At the prompt, enter the command shown on the screen. I'll add the text of the command in the description below for easy copy pasting. Choose a file name such as JupyterLab_RSA. Press Enter twice for an empty passphrase. The command will complete and your public-private keys will be saved to disk. Finally, Use your favorite text editor to change the username in the public key file to your Google Cloud username. Once the username is correct, add the private key file to your Mac's key registry using the ssh-add command listed in the description below. If you move to a new Mac, you will need to copy the private key file to your home folder and repeat this command. Note that on the Mac, you will only get a public RSA key and a private key. If you need a copy of the private key in PPK format, you will need to access a Windows PC to import it to Putty Key and save the other key files from there. Before we proceed, a note on security. The public key files are just that, public. They may be placed on servers you wish to authenticate with and given to others to help confirm your identity. The private keys, on the other hand, are just that, private. They should be carefully guarded. If you even suspect they've become compromised, you should discard the key pair immediately and create new ones. With this in mind, I urge you to copy the key files to a secure location on your PC and do not share the private key with anyone. Personally, I use a password manager called KeePass XC, which accepts and encrypts attachments. This is an ideal location to securely store your private key files. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now that we have a public-private key pair for security, we're ready to provision a virtual computer. Begin by going to the Google Cloud console. If you're using educational credits, you will have a new billing account with some funds preloaded and a matching project. If you're using the free trial credits, you will have to access your default project, sometimes called Quick Start. If you're paying for this yourself, you may need to associate your billing account with your Quick Start project. In any case, select your project at the top of the console page. Next, select Compute Engine from the Quick Access menu. I like to go ahead and pin the Compute Engine option so it will be available at the top of the Quick Access menu. Select the Create Instance option. Choose a name for your instance such as Jupyter-Lab-VM. Choose the region that is physically closest to where you'll be working so to minimize network latency. Different regions have different billing rates, however, so feel free to choose a cheaper region if you like. In our data programming class, we won't need a particularly powerful computer, so leave the machine type as E2-medium. If you're not in my class and you're planning to use Python for more memory or processor-intensive tasks, feel free to choose a different class of machine. However, be aware that this can dramatically increase your hourly and monthly costs. Select Debian 10 as the boot disk if it is not already selected. You're free to choose a different operating system if you prefer, but the instructions have only been tested with the Debian 10 operating system. Select the Management, Security, Disk, Networking, Sole Tenancy option, and then select the Security tab. In the large box under the SSH keys, paste in your RSA public key. On Windows, your public key file has the _RSA.pub file extension. On Mac, your public key file name ends in _pub. After pasting the key file contents, you should see your username appear to the left of the key. If you do not see your username, you may have an issue with the key file. Next, select the Networking tab. Click the pencil icon next to the default network interface. Locate the External IP option and change it to Create IP Address. When prompted, choose a name such as Jupyter-Lab-IP and click Reserve. Click the Done button under the network interface. Click the Create button at the bottom of the page. Google will begin provisioning your virtual computer. Once provisioning is complete, we can connect to our instance. If you're on a Windows PC, launch the Putty application. We'll set up our connection properties and then save them for easy access later. Begin by entering your username and public IP address in the host name field. Separate the username and IP address with an @ sign. On the left side, under Connection SSH Auth, select the Browse button and locate your private key. Under the connection SSH tunnels, locate the section to add a new forward port. Under Source Port, enter 8080. Under Destination, enter 127.0.0.1:8888. Click the Add button. Once we connect to our virtual computer, this will allow us to access the Jupyter Lab web application using the web browser on our PC. Finally, go back to the Session option on the top left. Enter the name for our session, such as Jupyter VM, and click the Save button. Your newly created session will appear in the list of saved sessions. Next time you launch Putty, you can simply choose the session name and click Load. Now that we have our session configured, click the Open button. You'll be prompted with a security alert. You should only see this the first time you connect to your virtual computer. Select the Yes option, and you should be greeted with a command prompt for your virtual computer. If you're using a Mac, access the Terminal application. Enter the command SSH followed by your username and the virtual computer's IP address, separated by an @ sign. After the IP address, add -L 8080:127.0.0.1:8888 and press Enter. You will see a security prompt confirming that you want to connect to this computer for the first time. Type YES and press Enter. You should not encounter the security prompt again. You should now see a command prompt for your virtual computer. I'll add an example of an SSH command in the description below. At our virtual computer's command prompt, we can issue commands to install software, start programs, and copy files. First, update the operating system using the apt-get command listed in the description below. Next, use the apt-get command listed in the description below to install pip, the Python package manager. Note, sometimes the software installation process pauses for a long time processing triggers for man-db. Just be patient and wait for it to complete. It may take several minutes. Once pip is installed, install Jupyter Lab. The exact pip command to use will be listed in the description below. Once the Jupyter Lab is installed, launch the application using the command listed in the description below. We are now ready to access the Jupyter Lab web application. On your local PC or Mac, open a browser and navigate to http://localhost:8080. You should see the Jupyter Lab login page. To log in, copy the token displayed in the command prompt just after token equals. Paste this value into the password prompt and click Login. Congratulations! You have successfully set up your Python development environment. This video won't go into the details of using Jupyter Lab for Python development, but we will cover how to shut down and exit the virtual computer. When you're done with your work in Python, save all your work and select File, Shutdown option. Confirm that you do indeed want to shut down Jupyter Lab and then close your browser window. Return to the command prompt. You may see some error messages regarding connection refused, which is to be expected considering the Jupyter Lab application is no longer running. Press Enter and you should see a clean command prompt. Type Exit and press Enter to close your SSH connection and tunnel. Assuming you no longer need your Jupyter Lab environment for the day, you can place your virtual computer in standby mode. To do this safely, enter the command sudo shutdown now in the command prompt. The operating system will shut down the computer. Google Cloud will detect the change and place your virtual computer in a stopped state, and billing will reduce to just storage costs. To restart the computer, access the Google Cloud console. select Compute Engine from the Quick Access menu, select the instance, and click Start Resume. Confirm your selection. Once your instance is up and running, you can repeat the SSH command to connect and start the Jupyter Lab application. Then access Jupyter Lab through a browser. Be aware that your security token will change each time Jupyter Lab is restarted, so you'll need to copy it again each time. Once the semester is over, you'll need to shut down your virtual computer for the last time. This is a two-step process which involves deprovisioning your virtual computer and releasing your static IP address. First, open the Google Cloud Console and access Compute Engine from the Quick Access menu. Locate your virtual computer, select the instance, and click Delete, which may be hiding under the triple dot menu. Confirm your selection. Once the instance has been fully deprovisioned, use the Quick Access menu to navigate to VPC Network, External IP Address. Locate your Jupyter Lab IP address and select it. Finally, select the Release Static Addressed option and confirm. That's it! You've successfully released all of your Google Cloud resources.